Hey everyone, guess what? We do not have ugly swag. We have spaced out radio gear that you're going to want to wear. Why? Because no one wants to wear ugly clothing. So head on over to spacedoutradio.com and go shopping today. You'll be glad you did. And it's a great way to support our show. Once you get your gear, send us a picture of you rocking out in your SOR swag. spacedoutradio.com, shop there today, and make yourself look good.
All right, everybody. Welcome right here to Spaced Out Radio, the After Hours radio show with me, your host, Mr. Rob G. We're going to have an awesome show tonight. We have Griselda Mantecon coming in. She is clairvoyant and channeler, speaker, Reiki healer, all sorts of things. We're going to get some great stuff going on tonight and potentially some readings, maybe an hour two. So we've been doing that lately. It's been working out pretty good, and we'll see how this goes tonight. It's going to be an awesome show. Let me go ahead and jump in and see who has come in first tonight. According to courtesy of Race Fan, it is going to be Race Fan with the gold tonight. We also have Kitty Catty Whack with the silver, and then Edgar Torres with the bronze. So definitely want to appreciate you guys for coming on in bright and early and kind of being the first three in. Also, we have Angela in the building tonight. Thanks for coming in. We have Brown Dwarf. Appreciate you showing on up. We got Road Flares in the building. Appreciate you coming on in. We have, let's see, Deb from Sacramento. Appreciate you coming on in. Let's see, we have as well Kitty Catty Whack. Hey, Kitty Catty Whack, thanks for coming on in. Jimmy J. Jordan Gonzalez, thanks for coming on in. Who else do we have out there? Lars Jansen, thanks for coming on in tonight. Thanks for joining us, the After Hours radio show. We also have Animal Paranormal Podcast Show. Appreciate you coming on in. Do appreciate you, Cody Eilert. Thanks for showing up tonight. Also, Jessica S. Thanks for coming on in. Thanks for showing up tonight. Jay Truthseeker, appreciate you for coming on in tonight. Let's see. Sarah A. as well. Thanks for coming on in. Let me go ahead and get the podcast side of this here started. All right, everyone. Welcome to Spaced Out Radio, the After Hours radio show with me, your host, Mr. Rob G. Tonight's going to be an awesome show. For hours 1 and 2, we have Griselda Mantecon, and she is a medium, channeler, Reiki healer, all sorts of things. We may get into some readings here tonight. It should be an awesome show. That's for hours 1 and 2. Then hour 3, we have Steve Stockton. We have our guy Drew Banky coming in with the after hours wrap up. It's going to be a fantastic show. So I would recommend not going anywhere tonight. I would recommend staying right here where you're at, and maybe even bring a friend. And then don't be afraid potentially to step forward and get a reading if that's what we're doing tonight. So it's going to be an awesome show. Let's see who else. Sierra, thanks for coming on in as well. It's going to be great as we got about 10 seconds before we jump into the radio side of this. Let's get going. Greetings, space travelers. Welcome home. You've just tuned your dial to Spaced Out Radio, the only place where you can own the night. I am your host, Mr. Rob G. Tonight we're broadcasting to you on our terrestrial affiliates across North America and digitally on digital platforms all around the world. Remember, you can access our archives for absolutely free. YouTube.com/@SpacedOutRadio. And while you're there, please consider hitting the subscribe button. Also, don't forget to follow us on X, Instagram, @Spaced Out Radio Show, and @Spaced Out Radio. Our website is spacedoutradio.com, where the options are endless. You can stay up to date with the SOR Newswire. You can get yourself some official Spaced Out swag. Plus, you can rock out to the man you hear right there, Mr. Ron Bumblefootall, and so much more. So it'll be a fantastic show. Like I said before, we have Griselda Mantecon joining us here tonight. Clairvoyant, channeler, Reiki healer. We may get into some readings tonight. Hours 1 and 2, then Drew Banky, Steve Stockton coming in hour 3, after hours wrap up, and then Tales Untold Missing Person Mysteries, and maybe even some unapologetically Mr. Rob G. I think I feel like that might be one of these nights tonight. So don't go anywhere. Make sure you stay right here as we go ahead and get ready to jump right on into the show. No delay as we go ahead and bring up our guest for the night, Griselda Mantecon.
Hey,
Griselda,
how
hi, how
are
are
you?
you?
Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here.
No, totally awesome. You were referred to me through our guy, our 3 guy, Drew Banky. He spoke really highly about you, and I'm like, okay, I gotta definitely dive in and see what's going on with Griselda, and here we are tonight. So it's gonna be awesome, and I know that you agreed potentially to do some readings maybe for the
Oh,
second
sure.
hour, which should be awesome. And then also, I kind of want to make sure everybody knows you're joining us from Mexico, right now. Okay.
Yeah, I born in the north of Mexico, Monterrey, Mexico. And right now I live in the south of Mexico in Yucatan.
Okay, and with that being said, there is going to definitely be a part of the audience that is strictly Spanish speaking. So
Yes,
we're going to attempt to cater to both audiences, English and Spanish tonight. So you may hear
yeah,
Griselda answer a question that I have for her, and then she may also repeat that answer in Spanish, just so you guys
sure,
understand what's going on there. And we will also put captions, closed captions on this show after the show is over as well on top of that. But I just wanted to make sure that we got that out there, so, Griselda, so they're wondering why you're answering in English and then maybe in Spanish right afterwards. So
sure.
with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Just like any other interview, especially first time meeting, we just want to get to know who you are as a person. So Griselda Mantecon, what led you in? How did you determine or come to the grips that you had the abilities that you have as far as being able to channel and do all these things? If you wouldn't mind talking about that.
Yeah. Okay. When I have 18, I went to retreatment in a Catholic church. But I believe in God, but not at all. And they say you talk like a friend, and I tell him I believe in you, but a little bit. I need the proof. And then in the floor, appears a big cross. It's a shadow in front of me. And then I was with different people and I say, hey, you look what I see. And everybody like, yeah, but no, Grace, don't worry. It's nothing. And I turn around and it's disappear. And the next day, somebody arrived with me and say, oh, God have a gift for you. When he give you this gift, say thank you. And I was thinking, this girl is crazy. I don't understand. And after that, I start to have a lot of dreams, and then happens what I dream. And then somebody arrived with me, and I know everything that he gonna tell me, and I have scared a little bit, but and then I start to read different books, and I start like, what's going on with me? Why? How I know everything, in the people, inside the people. It's like you get in the people.
Mm.
Example, you see the people without mask. Normally, the people use masks to to be in the society, no?
Mhm. Yep.
But here is like I see inside. I don't know how to explain, but I start. Somebody teach me to read the cards, the Spain cards. But I don't use the cards. I use the cards, but I see everything. But I see more when I see the people to the eyes. And then my life start changing, changes, and then I, God showed me how is the path, the way you need to go, and sometimes normally the people have the faith is like move it and it's not very strong, but every time they God and the angels show you the way, show you the where you need to go, what you need to do. And I start like that. And then I write a book. And I really write a book for myself, but I don't was thinking that this is gonna public and then I'll write it. And then I was living in United States and get out my book. It's in Spanish, but it's the magic of life is in you. And and how I can explain, I don't know how to explain you. It's like everybody have had inside a psychic,
Mhm.
but everybody have scared. They have scared to hear the voice, that follow that intuition, that voice that say, hey, don't go that way, go for this way. But
Yeah.
if you follow that voice, um, this voice, and then start to move everything like a river.
I like when you said, and I totally understand, and you actually are explaining it very excellent. Just so you know,
Thank
I
you.
really like, when you said seeing a person without the mask, because people wear masks in society, and that's just very true. Everybody puts on this mask to go out into public, but and that kind of resonates with me when you say that, because you attempting to describe the ability to see past that, or have an ability to see past that, it actually, I think, lends into credibility, as far as understanding that you are really seeing these things, or you really have this ability to see these things. So that's actually pretty awesome.
Thank you.
Now you were leading into the fact that with this psychic ability, that it's likely that we all have the ability to do this, and you also pointed to intuition, or really that voice inside of you that tells you to that gives you information. Sometimes you ignore that voice, sometimes you listen to it, and you're saying you should listen to that voice, because essentially it is part of that ability that you're talking about. Is that right?
Yeah, but everybody can hear it. I can tell you if you give me a permission, I can tell you a story about myself. About it's a real story with the angels. What happened with me?
Please
I
do.
was living in Houston, in Texas, and then when they gave us the house, I have a big archangel, Michael archangel, and my aunt say when you arrive to the house, say to pray to Michael. And I say, hey, Angel, hey, Michael, please help me take care of this house, take care of, I don't know, put the angel in every door, every window, and everything. I was there regularly when I arrive at home. I put candles and incense and everything like that to clean the energy. I do it. And I put a small candle, like tea candles. You see what? The small ones. I put in every room, and then every candle turn off just one in the downstairs, just one is with the light. And I go downstairs. I know. I go downstairs and I hear a big voice and say like, "Turn off the candle." And I'm like, "Okay, I did. I do it." And then I start to smell gas all the house, very strong. And I'm like, oh my God. And then the constructor called me and say, hey, Grace, where are you? And I'm like, in the house. And he said, you need to go out. And I'm like, why? Because the construction next to my house, they broken a tube, gas tube, and he said, you need to go now. And he went to my house and picked me up. When I arrived, when he picked me up, I start to pray and say, thank you, you saved my life. I arrived in the night, the same house, and was a window. And behind me, I feel like a big hug, beautiful hug. And I turned to see the window, and was like, if imagine that you put sand or earth in a window, every wind like a paint, every wind in the window. And I like, oh my God, I say, thank you, thank you. It's like we are here, They saved my life. And I love to share this because the angel exists, the angels exist. But the people, if they don't get into the life, uh, God give you a free will. You decide how you live. You decide everything. But if you don't ask for help, nobody can help you. And if you ask for help to the angels, everything moves.
So let me ask you this, and that's actually awesome story. How does how do those two things conflict, right? Because it for someone who doesn't have a super religious background, who may be looking at the abilities that psychics have, they think, okay, I'm just getting, I'm getting this ability from some higher source, but not necessarily looking at it as, to deal with God and then angels and things of that nature. So how does that differentiate, right? For someone, with you said you had a Catholic background. Is that what
Yeah.
I already say that? Okay. So how does that, how do you view your ability? The voices that you get, are they in your eyes voices from angels, or how do you look at that?
For me, it's for angels. But if if some people don't believe, it's not kind of religion. You can say the name universe, God, or I don't know. Some people believe in themselves, but inside everybody have a big light. And this light is like a candle. If you believe in that voice in yourself, inside you, this candle gonna be growing, you know? This light is gonna be growing. It's not some people maybe don't believe in God, don't believe in angels, but believe. in his own voice.
Right. Right. And that's where I was trying to go with it, because there's going to be some people who aren't religious at all, who have these abilities. I mean, because we all have the abilities. That's where we started
Yeah.
with in this conversation. But there's it's like, how do you speak to someone who doesn't have a religious background when you're trying to explain, you know, when you're trying to explain or articulate the abilities that we do have? Like, how would you approach that for someone who doesn't have a religious background? How would you
Oh,
bring that to them?
I'm going to tell you an example. A few days ago, a friend from Monterrey called me and he say like, okay, I want a reading, but I don't believe in this. I don't believe in nothing. I don't know, la, la, la. And I laughing and I say, I love that. And he say, why? I say, don't worry. And then I start reading and he like, oh my God, how you know that? How you know that? And I'm like, I don't know. You know, it's like everybody have a light inside. It's a beautiful light. But if you can see with the eyes of the angels, you can see a beautiful human being, a beautiful person inside of you. Sometimes the people feel guilty or feel bad about themselves, but no, it's a big light. But sometimes that light get like dirty, a little dirty, and then it just clean it up. It's like a diamond, you know.
Yeah.
But you remember when the diamond, how they do a diamond. The diamond is like strong with the force, and then it's I don't know how you say it in English. And it's bright, it's brilliant. I don't know.
So that's great. That's it. The
I
diamond, the
try to.
shining up a diamond is actually a great analogy for your inner light. And that's kind of one of the things that we were going to talk, or are going to talk about tonight, is that inner light that we all have within us. And then just the ability to see that it, and be able to communicate with that inner light or help someone else see it. And it's just awesome, because being the background that you do have, because you'd have more of a religious sort of outlook on it, it actually makes it awesome, because we often on this show and on most shows don't really get into the whole religious side of it, because it just, with UFOs and aliens, period, the topic that we
Yeah,
deal with a lot here, some people in the religious field look at these things as angels and demons anyway, and figure out and kind of try to frame the whole phenomena as potentially something that may be tied to religion or spirituality. So it's going to be actually pretty cool to get your opinion on a lot of that stuff tonight. But I don't know, did you want to add anything to that?
I respect everyone, and I think the mind is like a world, Every mind is like another world. And then I respect everyone and everything. If something worked for you, it's perfect, you know. If you believe in Buddha, it's perfect. If you believe in God, it's perfect. If you believe in universe, it's perfect. I respect that. But everyone believe in something.
Yeah,
If you believe it in aliens, it's perfect too. You
yeah,
know, it's I think everybody can believe in something because this is like the hope that we have inside, believe in something that is the stars. I believe is more life out of this planet. I believe that totally.
yeah. And then Drew and I, which you've given Drew a reading before, we'll talk about that likely after the break. But Drew and I, we often talk about exactly what you just said. Like, it doesn't, I mean, I think we can all agree for sure that everyone agrees that there's some sort of higher power, which, you know, we talk about being source. Some people talk about Buddha, God, all the different names that you might have for it. But just the whole concept being that there is some energy that's greater than us, that is where we draw all of these things from. So when we get into this, you know, talking about the psychic abilities or any abilities that we have, really, we're drawing that from whatever that thing is above us, and regardless what you want to call it, but we know that it
Yes.
is something there that we are like tapping into. So, with that being said, like, talk about, you know, some of your, what are some of the things that you use when you go into doing readings? Do you have any specific rituals or things that you do to prepare yourself for readings?
I ask God to the and to the angels how I can help the people, how I can help this person, what they need to know, and that's it.
Okay, okay. So I mean,
And I get the answers.
I was gonna say, any candles, rosary, anything like
I
that.
have my candle here. I have my candle,
Okay,
of course.
okay.
Light is beautiful.
So you know, besides having the encounter that we talked about earlier, like what is your inspiration for wanting to get out there and do these, you know, readings and connect with people? Like, what drives you in that aspect?
Sometimes the people uh, don't find the right place. And I write something that I want to explain you. Remember, life is like a river. Sometimes you can't find the way. You always reach the biggest thing, which is the sea. What
Mm,
does that mean? Some, if you flow like a river, you're gonna arrive to the ocean. That is the biggest energy. You can call spirit, you can call source,
mm,
whatever, but you can find it. Sometimes the people uh, have a lot of problems around it and don't see where I need to go. I write on other things. Sometimes we want to throw in the towel in difficult times, but that's not the case because wonderful things comes. Sometimes we have difficult in life and then we're like, no, I can't anymore. I'm depressed. I'm down, you know? But you know what? Sometimes it's like for grow, you need to get more step more, one step more, and then you find out the beautiful thing the universe have for you.
I
Tell me
really
if you
love.
understand. Maybe I
Yeah, you are doing fantastic. You're doing fabulous, and I really love the descriptive way in the analogies that you're using to describe. I mean, it's perfect for me because that's kind of how I'm a deep thinker myself, and that's kind of how I try to articulate and position things as well. So I'm loving it, and we're gonna go ahead and get ready to take our first break of the night tonight. And what I
sure.
definitely want to do is, you know, get into the healing part of all this, and like what the reason for the need for healing is in the times that we're in right now. So we're going to talk about that with our guest Griselda Mantecon when we come back right here on Spaced Out Radio. You guys don't go anywhere, and actually make sure you send your names in for readings tonight because it's going to get awesome. You guys don't go anywhere. Stay right where you're at. We will be right back right here. All right, and clear. And we do have our first taker here. Sierra wants a reading tonight. So Sierra, I've tagged your name, and we will definitely get you in hour 2. Ginger Turtle would love one as well. And Griselda, do you require any information to do the reading? Like, what do you need from that person?
Yeah, just the name and last name.
Okay. Some of these people use YouTube names. Do you need their actual last names?
Yeah,
Uh,
but
okay.
if
So I just want to make sure. So if you guys are willing to, because some people have pseudonames, if you guys are willing to give your names along with these requests for readings, please do so. That way I kind of have it all in one place. So hey, yes, I would like a reading. My name is X, Y, and Z, and then we'll go from there. Okay. And I'm keeping an eye on it. As we get in the conversation, I may miss some of the stuff, guys. So please don't hold me over the fire. But I'm going to try to make sure I grab all of your requests here. Okay. I think so far so good. Yeah, you're definitely doing awesome tonight, Griselda. I mean, and I love the way you describe these things, river to the ocean, and man, that's right up my
and
alley.
I
That's how I
and
feel,
I
though.
have another one.
That's
I
how
have another one, Rob. In life, we are in the right place at the right time. Everything is perfect, but trust and have faith that something good will come to you.
I like it. I like it. And we'll bring that one back because we're gonna go into healing energies right after the break. So, uh, okay, I got everybody wants readings. It's gonna be pretty
Oh, it can be for they can call you? No, right?
not on this show. Nope.
Oh,
Yep. But we can I'll reconnect with you on some things because I do have separately from this show. I have my own show on a separate channel where we do call-ins, and
okay.
that would be perfect for something like that. So
Yeah, that would be great.
let's see. And yeah, I want to thank also everyone else who has come in as well. Multitasking. So I definitely still want to say hi to Flat Six Sierra, Polly Rotterman, who just joined us, Sarah A, Tree Bird. Let's see. Search and Destroy. Let's see. The Andromedan. Let's see here. Just making sure I haven't missed anyone as well. And just so you know, Griselda, Jessica S says a very delightful guest tonight, and I agree. So
Oh,
just to kind of
thank
let you know,
you.
you're doing awesome, and people are loving what you're doing here. So you're doing great. And let's see. Mm,
Can I say something in Spanish? I'm gonna say in
yeah,
English and then in
yes.
Spanish.
Go ahead.
Okay. Uh,
You got
th
about 45 seconds.
yeah. Thank you for everyone that follow me and don't speak English. I try to speak English and now I'm gonna translate in Spanish. Gracias a todos los que me siguen y que no entienden inglés. Bueno, van a poner subtítulos cuando se acabe el programa y gracias por estar aquí. Thank you so much. Yeah.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Great stuff. Okay, we got about 30 seconds before we come back from radio here. And
Sure.
All right,
I'm gonna
10
start with
seconds.
you, Rob.
Huh? Oh,
I'm
no.
gonna start.
We'll see. Here we go. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming back to Spaced Out Radio, the After Hours radio show. Me, your host, Mr. Rob G. We're here with Griselda Mantecon, and she's just giving off awesome energy tonight. Everyone is telling us in the chat. We're going to go ahead and get some really great stuff. If you missed the first 30 minutes of the show, jump back in our archives, youtube.com/at Spaced Out Radio. That's where you can find it and catch on up as we go ahead and get back into the conversation with Griselda. So, Griselda, right before the break, I was kind of talking about shifting into healing, the healing energy. And I had a question for you.
Yeah.
When you look at the state of the world as it is right now, just everything everywhere, how do you, as far as energy goes, how do you feel about the state of the world right now? And you know, I'd have to ask what would you recommend as far as steps for healing?
I recommend work with themselves, ourselves. First, you need to change the form that you're thinking. If you think in scared and afraid and stuff like that, it's gonna happen to you. If you believe and if you change your mind, if if you change your mind, you change your life. But some people start, they stay, they all the time feel like scared about everything. Oh, it's gonna happen, this and go, and then manifest it. If
Yeah,
you change your mind, you can change your life. But if you believe this gonna change, because the work start
yeah,
with yourself. It's seeing you out there. You can see everything that you manifested, but inside is the real truth. When you see in yourself and start to work with your traumas, with your scares, with your fears, with everything, you know, and then start to change your world. But if you all the time think about conflict with other person, problem, this, that, and then it's gonna happen. And then it's like, oh, pure of me, this is happens. Yeah, but what in your mind? What is working out in your mind? In your mind is like a seed. You put the seed, but if you put water is gonna grow, you know? And then if you put the seed and you get love and you get peace and you positive thinking, meditation, and then start growing in harmony, you
yeah.
know?
I agree, and it definitely is something that starts within us. And I've said often here, when it comes to healing energy and kind of spreading the word on what it is. And I saw you, Frankie B. Just so you know, I saw you. Um, you know, it starts within us. So, how do we? What steps do we take as an individual to say I'm overcome with low energy, low frequency energy. Say I'm in the depressed, which a lot of people around the world are, is especially depending on what part of the world that you're in. There's a lot of bad things going on out there right now. What are some of the initial steps that you take to kind of get yourself out of that and to channel a better energy? Like what would you do?
Uh, Thank you. Thankfulness. Every day say thank you. What do you have? If you wake up, it's thank you. I wake up again. Thank you. Maybe you are depressed right now, or maybe you lost your job, you lost your couple or divorce or something, and then you get depressed, and nobody hear you. Nobody tells you like, hey, I'm here. But you know what? It's a big energy that is with you. And then say thank you. Thank you, because maybe I don't understand the lesson, maybe I have this big problem and I don't understand right now, but behind it is a big gift, you know, and then say thank you. Maybe I'm so sad because this situation, this woman or this man, wow, is the best for me. But you know what? The big energy have a very big gift for you, and right now you can see it because sometimes we believe that the person that we have is like the best, and then something happened, and then we like, oh my God, I'm depressed, I'm sad, and then after the time you turn behind and you say, oh my God, thank you. Thank you. You saved my life. You saved me of this person. You saved me of this situation. I'm gonna give you an example. A few days ago, a friend of mine, he drive a truck, and he going to the trouble in his work. And then he called me and say, "Oh, Grace, you know what? My truck broken." And I say thank you. And he say, why? And I say, you don't know if you continue the way and maybe you can get an accident.
Mm.
Sometimes we don't follow the signs. The universe, God, give you a signs all the time. Sometimes your car doesn't turn on and you're like, oh, you get mad and all the stuff like that. But you know what? Sometimes they stop you because if you go in that moment, something gonna happen. And then follow these kind of signs, If you are depressed, if you don't believe, if you say like, oh my God, I lost my job, it's the best. You know what? It's a lot of jobs around the world. It's waiting for you. Maybe you finish in this job because you grow enough. You don't gonna grow more, you know and maybe sometimes we think that the door is closed, and it's not a door, it's a small window, you know because it's a big door open for you. It's open right now. Are you understand my English? I'm
I,
sorry.
I understand you perfectly clear. I'm sitting here
Okay.
absorbing your insight here because I like the fact that you can take one of those healing things or one of those tools that could be used is looking at the positive side of something, which is something that we generally should always do. Like, don't always focus on the negative. I'm actually a person that really believes in that. If there's someone who goes directly to looking at the negativity in something instead of looking at what the positive parts of that is. And great analogy about, okay, not really analogy, a situation where the outlook of a friend who may have had a low energy because of the experience of having the vehicle breakdown, but then at the same time positioning that thought process as, you potentially could have avoided something, that could have been much worse. So there's a silver lining there, and I kind of like how you frame that. You actually are doing really great with that, and I think people are resonating with that. So getting more into uh the Reiki, and this is something I'm new to. So please, I'm going to be learning in this moment as well.
Yeah.
As a Reiki healer, like, what exactly is that? If you're able to
The
tell.
Reiki healer, with your hands, you give energy to all the chakras. The chakras is the centers of energy that you have in your body. Okay. And with the hands, you give healing to this person.
Okay. And so is that something that would be considered one of those abilities that everyone has, or are there certain
Everyone have it. Everyone have it. It's like when you example. I'm gonna give it. I love to give stories and examples.
That,
Sorry, but
that's a good thing.
okay. Example: a mom. One mom, the child gets sick, and she's like, "Oh my God, but she get a lot of energy because she's worried about it." But if she start to do this with her hands, start to grow energy. And if you put your hands in the part of somewhere that is hurts and start give love with your energy, because we are energy.
Hmm.
This body is like a car, but really you are energy. And then if she get put the hands with love and send the energy with all love and think that he gonna help and send love and angels and whatever they believe, you know, everything happens. The life is a miracle, but the people don't see that, you know. We grow and we have all the information. Example, the babies when they born until 6 years, they see everything. They see the energy of the people. You see the babies don't see you, see here. They see you here. And sometimes if you have bad energy, they see you like, they start crying and you're like, what's going on? Because you have a bad energy. And sometimes they see you and they laughing and talking and blah, 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 blah. And you're like, what? Because they see your energy. After 6 years, you get all the information, mom, dad, teachers, friends, etc. You have all the information, and then start the the diamond and start get dirty,
Yeah.
because you're a baby with a big, beautiful light. And then you get the information, and then you don't believe in you. Because when the baby say to her mom or something like, Mom, I see my granda. And they're like, no, 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 baby, you are crazy. Don't see that. And they see it.
Yeah.
But the parents start like, no, 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 it's not good, it's not good, and they block to the people.
Yeah, yeah, you're talk. Griselda, truthfully, I've talked about this often on this channel, and we often talk about how, yeah, as children, as babies, you come into this world completely unlocked with abilities, and in the way that you describe it here, babies are awesome receptors when it comes to being able to read energy and kind of read the room sort of situation, because yeah, you can have someone who has really bad energy and the baby will pick up on that and will sit there and cry and fuss. And I'm in agreement also that around 5, 6 years old, that that's where the suppression starts to happen. Even younger than that, probably like 3, 4 years old, if they're going into preschools and putting into the system early. But then yeah, that stuff starts to be um, suppressed. So with that being said, what are some of the instances that you've dealt with, like maybe directly with Reiki healing, some, awesome thing that happened as you were giving someone a healing? Do you have any stories about anything like that?
Oh yeah, but I have a story with a cat.
Yeah, yeah,
What
that's
I explain you about the moms, with the cat child. But one day I have in my home and I have a baby's cat, and then I arrive a friend and she how you say that in English? I don't know. She goes step and poop, and then in the neck of the cat start crying, and I'm like, oh my God. And then my hands start like this, and I feel the energy that I told you before. And I put in the cat and I send all the energy to the cat. The next day, the cat um, or was healing. I don't know any. I don't know.
No, Griselda, I'm gonna tell you something right now. Everybody out here has heard this story, but it's funny that you gave the example of a cat, right? Because everyone knows this story I'm about to tell you, and I'll give you the
Okay.
brief, short version of it. But I had a litter of puppies right at my house, and I don't know if you're familiar with parvo, the sickness that dogs get. So when they're young, they can
Uh-huh.
get this disease from the poo from other dogs that have
Oh yeah,
parvo.
yeah.
So then I had like three dogs, puppies that got sick and they passed away. And so I had
Oh,
to bury them in the backyard of my home. And there was we had a fourth one, which a little small chihuahua about this big
okay.
named
Uh-huh.
Ladybug. And you know, I knew that she had caught it because she was around the other dogs that had it. So I'm like, oh my gosh, this she's gonna have this. I'm gonna have to bury my puppy. So I took her to the vet, and we tried to do everything we could to save her, and she just got sicker and
Yeah.
sicker and sicker. And then one day we brought her home because they said there's nothing else they could do for her, and we have to just see if she makes it. So we brought her home. We went to bed that night, and when we woke up in the morning, my girl came to me and said she didn't make it. She passed away.
Oh,
And so
oh my
I'm
God.
like, oh my gosh. So I go out to bury her. I'm like, where is
Mm.
she at? And they point to a little couch. We have a dog couch, and
Uh-huh.
she's all wrapped up in a blanket, head to toe. And so I go
Mm.
grab her so I could go and bury her. And as soon as I grab her, she jumps like this. And
Wow.
I'm sitting there and I'm telling them she's not dead. So for the next 4 hours, essentially, I sit there and I'm kind of rubbing her and I'm talking to
Like,
her and I'm giving her these little rehydration drops. And hour by hour by hour by hour, by the end of the fourth hour, she went from completely, essentially dead to being fully alert and on her path to healing within 4 hours of me touching her, rubbing her skin. And so that when you say that, that's an example for me of I don't know. I know that energy came from this source above. It wasn't me. It was something that came through me and
mhm.
healed this puppy.
Yeah, it's
That
like that.
that's what that is, right? That's Reiki healing.
Yes,
Oh my gosh.
it is. Oh, and you know what? It's like 2 days ago, I see in the YouTube, I see a video. I love the animals too. I have two cats and one dog. Is they are here with me, you know? I don't know if you
Hey,
can see
puppy.
it, but I have three. And then, okay, I see a video, and the video say they talk about the dogs, and they say the dogs are angels, you know, with four legs. But you need when they arrive with you and they touch you, jumping and everything, they clear your energy. They clean your energy. And the videos say if you touch the heart of the dog and you ask to the angel Raphael Archangel to healing your energy with him, the energy uh, grow in all the house. And dogs are they have a mission. When you see this, his eyes of the dog is you see the universe, you see the peace, you see the passions, you see. I say we need to be like a dog because the dog they don't have they forgive you everything. They happy all the time. They don't worry, you know. Uh, the human beings, we need to be like that. Though all the time heart in the heart is like I'm mad, I don't forgive, la la la. The dog, 5 minutes, bye. He forgot everything.
Yeah.
But they They are very important. They are a light. For me, they just need the wings, you know? They are amazing. The animals are amazing. Cats, dogs, they have a lot of energy. They clean our energy and they clean the energy of the house. But sometimes the people don't understand if the cat arrive with you, the dog arrive with you, it's for a reason. They show you. You don't show the dog. The dog show you. He's like, yeah, this is mine, you know, because they have a mission with us.
And that's it's you know, to get that side of it, that perspective of them being angels and kind of, you know, that might be the reason that I was used as like the middleman or the conduit to kind of heal in that situation. And it was so mind-blowing for me because I often talk on this channel about my journey with this phenomenon, period, and then just all these different instances and steps that I have taken myself where there's things that show me that, you know, something like healing is real. Because other than having that experience myself, you know, I see people on TV that do the hit, you know, the touching. And had I not had that experience, I don't know how, you know, I don't know if I fully buy into it, right? Because someone who's never had that, they could be listening tonight and say, you know, healing is a bunch of BS. There's not, healing's not real. You can't just touch something and heal something. But I'm here to tell you that you can do that. And I saw it happen live in effect. And there is definitely something to healing. So,
But you
yeah.
know what? You heal the dog because you have love. The
Yeah.
love heal. The love heal everything. You put the love there, like it's something, it's someone that you love it. When you love someone, you when you love your dog, when you love, you give all the energy with love.
Yeah.
You doesn't know what's happened, but remember, you are the light. This body is a car. Remember, you are a light. And then you give a light with love because you want to hear the dog save it, you know?
Yeah, yeah, and she was so cute. I mean, and I'll tell you what, she's one of those teacup chihuahuas where she is so sweet.
Yes.
At the time, she could
Small.
probably fit in one hand, and that's how small she was. But I'll tell you, like right now, today, anytime I come in the room with her, she immediately hops on 3 different couches to get to where I'm at. Like she's in my face. I can't. She won't leave me alone. She just
Yeah.
like out of all the dogs that we have, she is the one that always stays in my face, always just is
She's
happy to see
connected.
me when I come in. Yes, it is crazy, Griselda. So it's you know, it really just kind of backs up the fact that, like I said earlier, that Reiki healing and healing energies and those things are real things, and we're going to talk about that and a lot more. Actually, we're going to probably get into that and then get into your readings, guys. So make sure you don't go anywhere as we get ready to go into the break right here on the back half of the first hour. Griselda, you've been doing awesome. I just want to let you know.
Oh, thank
And
you. Thank
we're
you.
going to have an awesome hour too. So, guys, make sure you don't go anywhere. It's going to get really spicy right here in the second hour, right here on Spaced Out Radio. You guys kick back. If you do leave, come right back.
Conversations that move the needle.
Oh,
You're listening to
I tried to speak English, Rob.
the only place where you can own the night. Spaced Out Radio.
Spaced Out Radio. You've tuned your dial to the right frequency.
Okay, we are clear. So we're off camera now for the next 5 minutes, Griselda. So if you have
Yes.
anything you need to do,
Let me go to the bathroom rapido.
All
I'm
right.
going to the bathroom fast.
Yes. We are back. Welcome back to Spaced Out Radio After Hour number 2 with me, your host, Mr. Rob G. Back with our guest, Griselda Mantecon. Hey, Griselda, we're going to go ahead and take 1 second here because we have 30 seconds before we come back from radio break. And just want to run down the list real quick. I'll tell you who I got so far, guys. I got Polly Rotterman. Actually, I got Sierra, Ginger Turtle, SG Nav Spotter, Dad from Sack, Flat 6, Wayne, Cosmic, Joe, yep, Polly as well, Frankie B, Sarah A, Treebird, as we come back from break right now, and the Andromedan. Welcome back to Spaced Out Radio, After Hour number 2, with me, your host, Mr. Rob G. We are back with our guest, Griselda Mantecon. She's doing great tonight. If you guys have missed any of tonight's show, make sure you go back in the archive, youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. As well, if you are on social media, hit the little heart button if you're on X, at Spaced Out Radio, at Spaced Out Radio Show. We'd appreciate a follow as we come back into the conversation. So yes, Griselda, we were into talking about Reiki healing and everything, and apparently I was used at least, and I guess I'm a Reiki healer, I guess, but I was at least used to be a conduit to kind of have that healing energy pass through me. So guys, once again, healing is real. It's not just fluff. It's not woo. It's a real thing. I am here to tell you that, but we're going to go ahead and kind of get into some of the readings for tonight. Well, sure. If you're ready, Griselda, I know you
maybe
informed that you wanted to that when you do these readings, you start off with the prayer, and you can go ahead and conduct that if you would like right now.
Yeah, sure. Okay, the people is see this show and is watching this show, please close your eyes. Inhale deeply and exhale, please. Inhale again and exhale all the problems, all that you worry about. Let it go. Let it go. Imagine a light in your head. Get inside to you and go and all your body. Inside. Inhale deeply. Dear God, please surround us with your holy Christ light of truth and holy Christ light of protection. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Amen. Inhale deeply. And exhale all the negativity that you have in your body, in your mind, your worries. You are here now. You are in peace. Inhale love. Inhale peace. Inhale harmony. Say thank you for this day. Thank you for being here with me, with us. Thank you for everything. Inhale and exhale and open your eyes. Ready.
That felt good, Griselda. I'm not gonna lie.
Are you gonna sleep?
I'm sure people out there can say the same thing. If you guys did that make you feel good? Because it did for me. All right.
Yeah.
Great stuff, Griselda. And let's go ahead and get into, let's see, the first person that has a name on here. Let's see.
So, Rob, can I
Yes.
tell you something?
Yes.
If the people can write it down if they speak English or Spanish, or if for them is better in Spanish,
Okay.
they
So
can let you know.
tell them that right now in English and Spanish. Let them know.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go ahead and say it to them. Tell everyone.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say in English. Okay, if the person want a reading and just speak English, let us know, and or Spanish. Si la persona habla solo inglés o español, háganoslo saber para poderlo hablar en español y traducirlo. Gracias. Thank you.
All
I
right.
say
Great. And let's see here. All right. So let me try to grab the first actual name here. First name that I had was from Flat Six, and his name is Ryan Kersey.
Ryan Kersey. How we can help him. And Spanish and English.
English.
Okay, the angels say you very worry about the answers all the time. Don't worry about the answers. Flow, flow. Is example, if you go into the job and then you worry about what my chief gonna say about me, you worry a lot. They say let it go. Let it go. Let it go all the worries. You your mind is like this. They say stop thinking, flow, let it flow with like a river. Remember that I told you before, Ryan. Sometimes you are very, it's like you have idea and you like, my idea is like this. Hey, open your arms and let the idea grow and flow. When you do that, and then the idea gonna comes true. Okay, thank you. I'm gonna do in the short readings, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's fine.
I
Um,
have
as well, and I actually want to ask you this real quick because one of
six.
our viewers, Sierra, wanted to know if you needed her full last name or could she just give you the initial of her last name, or would you need her actual
Um,
last name?
no, can be the last name is better because imagine if it's a lot Sarah's, Sarah what? You know?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, sometimes I do a reading and then some people like, oh, this is for me too, you know?
yeah.
It's work
Yeah,
like
that
that.
makes sense. That makes sense. So yes, Sierra, we would need the last name. I'll be keeping an eye out for that in case we have it. I have Ginger Turtle 43, whose name is William Hillier.
William Hiller. William want to get a business, but it's like don't find don't he don't find uh the right start. I don't know how to explain it. Okay, I'm gonna try to explain it. It's like you want to get a business, but you don't have idea how. Okay, first you need to get a place, and then you get write down the idea what you're gonna get, and then make it happen. But believe in yourself because you have like, oh, can I do it? Though, yes, the angels say you can do it, but believe more in you. And you need to plan. You need to get a goal. If you if you put your energy like for this way, you go this way. But right now, your mind is like, boom, the energy is two different ways. Go in one way, just like is if I go to the right, go to the right. But right now your mind is right, left, back, here. We don't know. You need to be sure about this because it's gonna happen. It's gonna be a success for you. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. Let's get to the next person listed here. Um, we got Poala Rotterman.
Paola
Yeah, Paola.
Rotter Rotterman,
Yes.
and in Spanish or English?
English.
Okay, Paola Rotterman. ¿Qué le puedo ayudar? Oh, they say, Paola, you worry a lot about your feelings. It's like if you're with a couple right now, um, share what you feel because sometimes you get quiet and you don't say nothing. Sometimes it's beautiful to open your heart and say what you feel. because in this way you're gonna get the answer that you want, you know. But the other person is no Aladdin, you know. He don't know what is in your mind, but you need to open your heart. When you open your heart and say what you really feel, it's gonna change everything. Thank you so much.
That's actually pretty awesome because I kind of know Polly, and that was yeah, you good stuff. Let me see. We have Wayne, who is Wayne Murray.
Wayne Mary. Okay, look. Oh, they say, I see you in a yard and you see the sky, but all the time your mind is not here. I'm sorry. You all the time in other world, you know? Your mind is out of this world. They say you need to connect your mind with your heart in this earth because in your mind is a lot ideas, but they say when these ideas come down to this earth and then gonna grow like a seed. But right now you see a lot the heaven, you know, but you ask to the heaven help. The help is here, it's with you, but you need to go down, you know, go to the earth. All the ideas connect mind, heart, and then talk about what you want to manifest it. You understand what I say?
Yep,
Thank you.
surely did. That was great stuff. And let's see. We go ahead and get our next person up, who is Cosmic Joe Chronicles, whose name is Joseph White.
Joseph White. Didn't put it there. Okay, Joseph, they say the past go away. It's no exist anymore. You are here, here now. If you, I'm gonna explain you what they say. It's like your feet. One feet is in the past and one is in the present. If you wanna go um, get a step, you're gonna do like this, you know? You need to be bold. The past, let it go and say thank you for the learn, what you learned over there, the lesson. Thank you for the lesson. But now, what you need to do, what are you gonna do for to be here? Here is the moment. The past, say thank you and forgive. Forgiveness is important. I'm sorry. Love you. Thank you for the lesson. Bye bye. That's it. But for you, it's gonna be a new chapter to your life. It's a new things is gonna come to you. But open your heart. The heart is closed right now. You need to open it, and then it's gonna give. They're gonna give you a gift. Thank you.
Awesome. And the next person that I have listed here is going to be, let's, we're going to get to Frank or Frankie B, who is Frank Bagnato.
Frank Bagnado. In English too.
Yes, in English.
Okay, Frank Bagnado. Okay, look for you. Oh, they say you have scared to get the decisions, but it's time to get this different decision. Is I saw you in two ways, you know, two different ways, and you are there, but you don't know if you're going to the right or to the left. They say it's time to get a decision. Any decision that you get is going to be the right one, but follow your heart. This is very important. Follow your heart, your inner voice. Thank you.
All right, and let's see. Next on the
Nobody
list.
in Spanish?
Yeah, none yet. And
Yeah.
Sarah A, who is Sarah Ahmed, and yes, also in English as well.
Sarah. They say, Sarah, you need to calm your mind. Your mind, sometimes you get so stressed, but it's in your mind. You need to calm down. They say calm down, inhale deeply, and exhale and release. Release everything that you worry about, release it. Release and say like, oof, I don't gonna worry about. I'm gonna be myself and I'm gonna say everything what I feel. That release. This is important for you right now. Remember, it's like a tree. The tree release first and then grow. You are growing right now in this moment, and then let it go. Let it go. If someone wanna go, bye. It's a friendship. Wanna go, bye. Thank you, bye. Because you are growing spiritually. Thank you.
All right. Hey, I like that. Let me see. Next person up that we showed is actually with the first and last name. I think that was the last one with the first and last name. So let me ask Sierra real quick here. Sierra, did you still want that reading? If so, we need the last name. Let me see. Ginger Turtle, we did yours.
My glasses.
Let's see. SG Nav Spotter, I do have your request here, but I just have your last name, Gonzalez. If you wouldn't mind giving your first name.
Ay,
Okay, here we go. And SG Nav Spotter is requesting his in Spanish, and it's Gonzo Gonzalez.
es Gonzo. Gonzo Gonzalez, let's see. Gonzo, okay. Gonzo Gonzalez. In Spanish. I'm gonna say in English and then in Spanish. Do you like that? It's okay?
Yeah, that should be okay
Gonzo
for
Gonzalez.
both our audiences. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. They say you need to start a new chapter. Necesitas empezar un nuevo capítulo en tu vida. Chapter in your life. It's very important because right now it's changing everything. Es muy importante porque en estos momentos están cambiando cosas a tu alrededor. It's changing everything around you. And it's time uh, to, it's like clean it up, como limpiar. Es tiempo de limpiar a la gente que no conviene, que no es. It's time to clean the people this not convenient for you. Es tiempo de limpiar a la gente que no es conveniente para ti. Uh, Ask the angels helping you with this. Pídele a los ángeles que te ayuden con esto. They're gonna show you, ellos te van a mostrar who is real and who is fake. Ellos te van a mostrar quién es real y quién es falso. Thank you.
Great stuff. Let's see. Okay, so now we have
I'll do this one. Mhm.
David Gonzalez.
In English or Spanish?
Looks like David didn't say. So I guess maybe both.
Both?
Yeah, why
Okay.
not?
Oh, they say you running so fast. Ellos dicen que corres muy rápido. You all the time like hurry up, hurry up. You need to stop a little bit. Todo el tiempo estás como apurado, rápido, y ellos dicen que te relajes un poquito. They say it's like a car. If you go fast, you can see the signs. Si tú vas muy rápido en un carro, no puedes ver las señales. You need to let it slow. Ve un poco lento and you can see the signs. Y tú podrás ver las señales around you. Thank you.
All right, awesome stuff. And we got Cody Eiler, who's asking for English.
In English. Cody
Eiler.
what?
Eiler.
Eiler. Okay, Cody Eiler. Oh, they say you have a lot scared about the changes. Example, if you need to move to other house, you have scared about that. If you need to move to other job, you have scared about that. But they say you're gonna be safe. Trust, trust. Every change in your life is gonna be for better for you. Thank you.
All right, and we have Luis Gutierrez.
Luis Gutiérrez, saluditos. En español. Okay, I'm going to say in English and Spanish, Luis, because they need to hear it. Puedo ayudar, Luis. They say, Luis, you have a big plans for you, and you're gonna grow, but you need to trust in you. Tienes muchos planes para ti, planes grandes, pero necesitas confiar más en ti mismo. Ah, you're gonna make it. Sí lo vas a hacer. You're gonna make it if you're gonna produce something about the movie. You're gonna make it. Vas a hacer lo que vas a hacer de la película o la producción, lo vas a hacer. But they say you need to trust in yourself and trust because the angels, los ángeles, te van a mandar. They're gonna send you people. Ellos van a mandar gente to helping you para ayudarte with the production. Thank you. Listo.
Sounds like some good news there. Good reading here. And let's see, we may be able to fit this one in here. We have Mike Jones. Let's see. Just had you here. Actually, I think I'll save that one to the backside because we're running out of time. Yeah, we'll save you, Mike Jones, to right after the break here because we got about 45 seconds. So just want to let everybody know that Griselda has been doing just awesome with these readings tonight. We do appreciate her taking the time to do these for us. Let's see.
Mike, what? Mike
also, yeah, it's gonna be Mike Jones. We'll do him as soon as we come back from this break. And also, this is the thing. So, Sierra, I didn't get a response from you yet, so I'll still be waiting for that. Deb from SAC, you were saying what kind of reading? If you still want one, let me know. Let's see. Also, Tree Bird. My real name is Birdman. If you want to give your full first and last name, if you still want that. And then also the Andromedan stating that you wanted one. I need that first and last name, Andromedan, and we can go ahead and get you read here tonight. Other than that, great show so far. You guys, we have been kicking butt tonight, and right here on Spaced Out Radio, the After Hours radio show, Griselda has been giving compelling readings, and we will continue doing that right after this break. So make sure you don't go anywhere. Or like I always say, if you go somewhere, make sure you come right back to the After Hours radio show right here on Spaced Out Radio. right, we are clear, and yeah, we're on camera this break still, so everyone still can hear us. You've been doing awesome. A lot, everyone I've seen so far has been satisfied with these readings. The person
Thank
I
you.
kind of know, Polly, I know you were pretty close on with her, so I can only imagine with the other ones. Yeah, and I got you, Mike Jones. We'll get that done in Spanish and also English for our audience as well.
Sure.
Let's
Oh,
see.
Rob,
Jeremy.
Rob, I'm gonna
Yes.
ask you. You can announce if they want a private reading that they follow me in Instagram or something.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
give him a Instagram, but it's in Spanish. Grisel Consejero Espiritual. I write
Yeah.
it.
We'll if it's not already in the I'm gonna have you give that to them before you leave tonight. And then also if it isn't in our description already, then send it to me so
Okay.
I can add it to the description.
I put it in Facebook. I send it in the group, Facebook
Okay.
and Instagram.
So it's probably already part of the show. That's probably already in the description of this video. But if not,
Okay.
we'll check. And if not, I'll make sure that I add it. But I'm going to ask you at the end of this interview to
Mhm.
go ahead and tell everyone where they can find you. So we'll do that soon here. And Deb from SAC. Now, I saw you, Deb. No, I didn't see your last name, though. If you could go ahead and send that to me. I know you're on my social media, but go ahead and resend it to me if you wouldn't mind, Deb. That would be awesome. Yep, I got you, Deb. I got you right there. Okay. All right. Tim James looking
Maybe.
sharp. Mr. Rob G looking sharp, my man. Right back at you, Tim Jones. I'm playing tennis with you. So you pleasant compliment. Boom. I'm swinging right back. Pleasant compliment right back at you, sir. Appreciate you coming on in and joining us tonight, Tim, as well. Let's see. See if I missed anyone. I'll save that. And okay, Ethanol said, hi, all joined late. So Ethanol, just so you know, Griselda's doing readings right now. If you would like one, just make sure you reply to this with your first and last name. And then if you want that in English or Española, let me
Español.
let me know. Let me know.
The next time is gonna be in Italian too.
And it hey, okay. That's what I'm
I'm
talking.
learning right now.
Okay, that's what's up. I like that. Let's see. Okay. Eric J, is it too late to ask for a reading? No. Reply with your name, first and last name, and I got you.
Oh, Rob, we don't talk about Drew, I met him.
Yeah, we can get into that too.
Yeah. And then the last part, ratings, if you want.
Yeah, we can do that. Let me see. Slow down, see signs resonate. Okay, you're good there. We got about a minute left. We come back and
How
okay.
many people is connected?
Tonight we have about 153 joining from YouTube and then also social media. And then we'll have a bunch of people like after the show is over that'll end up watching it too. But we have let's see, Cecina, Jefferson, Treatbird, Jonathan. So it looks like we have one, two, three, four, five. Wait, four. One, two, three, four. So four more readings, unless someone throws something in at the last moment, which I don't see. So okay, yeah. So we're looking good. So we got about 15 seconds here, and we'll be coming back from radio here.
They can do a question if you want,
Yep.
and I can answer if it's yes or no. More easy, more fast.
Okay. Questions as well. Here we go. All right, everybody. Welcome back to Space Out Radio after hour number 1.5, back half of the second hour. Means we have only 20 some odd minutes here with our guest, Griselda Mantecon. She's been doing excellent tonight, guys. We're going to go ahead and make sure that you know if you missed any of the show, you want to see it, hop in the archive, youtube.com/ at Spaced Out Radio, where you can catch up on what you missed as we go ahead and jump into the conversation. Now, we've been doing readings here, and we said at the beginning of the show that you actually had done a reading for Drew Banky, who's our hour 3 wrap up guy. What did you, if you wouldn't mind talking about how you met Drew, and then maybe he's given approval for you to even talk about the reading as well.
Oh, it's like 5 years ago. A friend of mine, he was living in Colorado, Andre, he is from Germany, and he recommended Drew with me. And then, but I don't remember a few days ago, I write him and like, hey, hello. But then I have a message of him like to 2023. And but I hear inside me is like, oh, you need to talk with more people. And I like, how? And then I find the message and I write him, hey, hi, how you doing? And he say, hey, Gris, you remember me? And I like, no. And he say, like 5 years ago, Andre introduced with me, and you do a reading. And I'm like, oh, I remember. And he invited me to the program, and I'm like, okay. And he say, why you write me? And I'm like, I don't know. The angels know. I don't know. I don't have idea. And he invited me to the program, and we start talking in a messenger, and I do a reading again for him after 5 years
And how did
like
that come
this.
out? Was it? He said he's an open book, so he said, you're okay to kind of talk about what was it? Is he headed for greater heights, or like what was it? Because I know he's on this mission, on this path right now, and he's waiting
But
for.
I see a lot of things when I have a reading for him and a big ego and different things, but I don't remember exactly because when I do a reading, I just get the information and back, bye. And then I don't remember exactly, but Drew can tell you can
He
tell you
will.
everything what I say.
He will. He will. I know he's definitely going to do that during hour 3. So then, with that being said, let's go ahead and get to Eric Johnson. Eric Johnson wants to know if he can get a reading, please, in English.
Sure, in English, right?
Yep.
Oh, Eric, they say you need to get the passions because you get desperate all the time, like, explodes. He say, hey, have passions, go slow. If you have passions, uh, your mind gonna be more relaxed because I see a headache. Sometimes your head is like too much pressure, suppression. They say, inhale and exhale and get passions, relax. You need to get contact with the earth. You go into the yard, I don't know, put your feet in the jar or let it down in the jar, something that connect with the earth. You need connection with the natural things, with the tree. Hug a tree, get the energy of the tree. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. And let's see, we have Mike Jones. Mike Jones. Dímelo en español, por favor.
Always the good Spanish.
No.
Mike Jones. Okay, Mike Jones, lo voy a decir en inglés y en español. I'm going to say in English and Spanish because it's a respect to the people who don't speak Spanish. Okay. Mike Jones. Oh, they say you are very secure about yourself. Ellos dicen que eres muy seguro de ti mismo. But in this moment, you have doubts about that. Pero en estos momentos tienes dudas acerca de esto. They say you need to believe in yourself again. Necesitas creer en ti otra vez. Don't hear no one. No escuches a nadie. Hear yourself. Escúchate a ti mismo. Because sometimes if you hear different voices with different people, si tú a veces escuchas diferentes voces de diferentes personas, you start to get a doubt about yourself. Empiezas a tener dudas de ti mismo. Trust in yourself. Confía en ti. Gracias. Thank you.
Awesome. Let's see. We have next up Jeremy Jones saying in English.
Jeremy Jones en inglés. Jeremy Jones. ¿Qué lo puedo ayudar? Oh, they say you need to get a risk. Sometimes it's like I can do it, but no. I can do it, but no. You can do it, everything that you want. But it's like nothing can happen if you don't try. If you don't try, it's like, oh, why I don't do that? If you do it, you can get it. But you believe. Here in mind, everything is possible. But believe in you. Thank you.
All right. And let's see. Next up is Deb from Sacramento, also known as Debbie Lavin.
Debbie Levin. In English, right?
Yes.
Debbie Levin. They say, Debbie, you need to trust in the future. But remember, first is today. Today. The future is coming, but if you make it today, it's going to happen in the future. If you focus in what do you want in the future, it's going to manifest it. Okay? Thank you. Ready.
All right. And next up is from requesting to have another reading is Drew Banky.
Drew.
Yeah, requested
Drew
another reading.
Banky. Okay. Oh, they say, Drew, that is correct. What do you want? What do you wanna? It's like a project, okay? They say it's correct what you're gonna do, but you need to plan very well the steps, one step, two step, and then you need to be very get attention to the different people that write to you. It's like one say yes, one say no, one say yes. You need to choose very well the people around the project, and then this project gonna grow. But it's like a grow like a tree when the tree give flowers, but with very light, it's gonna be sweet, it's gonna be amazing and in harmony. This is the most important, but it's important the people around you. You need to be careful to choose who yes, who no. Okay? Thank you.
All right. And
The
that was
next is Roy.
last night. Oh, you know what, Griselda? You know, I've been on the fence about and you know what?
No, don't worry. You
I'm
don't
gonna
need
give
the reading because you have the reading unconsciously about the dog.
okay.
This message was for you. I'm really sure about
Um,
that.
okay, okay. All right, all right. Cause I mean, I know people out there who be like, get the reading, get the reading. And let me just see real quick here. I want to okay, so I want to make sure that we get this out there. There was a question from David wanted to know where are you from, Griselda?
Monterrey, the north of Mexico, Monterrey, Mexico.
All right. SG Nav Spotter wants to know where can we follow you at? No, so and I know we had
Oh,
the link for your Polly put your link in the chat for Instagram.
okay.
I'm gonna bring it up here. I lost it. I just had this right here. So here's where you can find Griselda. And so
Instagram, yes.
this link is in the chat, guys. So you can go ahead click on this link and go ahead and give Griselda a follow, and then talk more about because I know you've actually written a book as well. Is that correct?
Yes, but it's in Spanish. I
Ah,
have
oh,
in English right now, but I don't public right now.
well, what is the book about? What is the title of the book and kind of because at the
It's
very least
about,
we have translators that we can use to kind of read the book if we need to.
yeah, okay, the book is how you can transform your mind to negative things to positive. But this, how you say, self, self-help, you know,
Okay.
something like that. It's to think positive, because sometimes different names like ask and the universe give you and have faith. Different, you know me, I love to give stories, because uh, you need to get into the story because sometimes I talk about one story and it's life of someone, like the dog. I say about my cat and you say like, oh my God, it's happening with me with the dog. And when I share stories with the people understand that we are, is sometimes it's happened the same with different people, you know, the different situations, but it's the same. It's happened with you, it's happened with me. Maybe when I talk about the Michael Archangel and it's what happened in my house, maybe somebody is like, oh my God, is this happens with me? It's a miracle happens or something saved me. And it's for me, it's very important that
So talk to me about what are angel courses and some of the workshops that you do as well, if you wouldn't mind talking about those.
I teach the people to connect with angels, uh, for when he write it down and receive a message. It's a automatic writer
Okay. Okay.
that everybody can hear it. We can do here if you want. If we can inhale deeply and we can ask something and you're gonna get the answer. Everybody get the answer.
Okay. So who would pose the question? Would it be someone in the audience, or where would the question who would ask the question?
No example. If I do a small meditation like inhale and exhale, and then you can ask yourself, hey, are you here, angel? You're gonna hear a voice. Somebody is like, oh, no, don't be scared. It's your inner voice, you know? But everybody can do it. But watch. The first voice that you hear is the answer. The second one is the ego.
Mm,
Because the ego all the time is like, no, 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 you can do that, you know? The first
mm,
one, the information arrive with you like a air, slow and relax, you know. And the second one is like your ego, like, no, 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 you can't do that. No, it's not true, you know. And then it's just like that. It's all the time we fight with the ego. We fight with this boy, like you say, like, oh, I can do that. And then the boy's like, no, you can do that. No, 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 you can do it. And then you follow this one, and it's not right. You need to follow this one while you hear first.
and so that would be
You're
no. Go ahead.
sorry.
Finish. No, go ahead.
uh your body can answer you too. Example, if I tell you close your eyes, and then if I tell you something that you don't like it, like a food, and you feel it in your stomach, like it's not good, and
Mhm.
when you add something and it's relaxed, it's good. Is the answer the right answer?
Okay, and those exercises that you took us through, the one you had us do right before the readings, right? The breathing exercise, that was actually
Yeah,
pretty good. Is that the same thing that you would
yeah,
do?
exactly the same. Do you want to do it?
Let's do it. Let's do it again. Yeah,
Let's do it.
let me get ready.
Okay,
I love it.
close your eyes,
Yeah,
please, everybody. Close your
every
eyes.
and everyone out there in Radio Land as well. If you wouldn't mind jumping in and participating, this would be cool. A cool thing. Go ahead.
Inhale deeply. Exhale all your worries, all that you have in your mind. Inhale love, peace, harmony. Exhale worries. Exhale all what you're thinking that is not good. Let it go. Inhale love. Inhale peace. Imagine a light that getting in your head. Go get down to your body. Inhale deeply and ask permission. I'm going to ask permission. If you say yes, the angels can help you. Ask for permission to get answers of the angels. Say yes if you want to answer. Inhale deeply. Ask to your angels something that you know, or do you want to know. Inhale deeply and ask. Angel, ask the question. Ask him if he have an answer for you. The first that arrived to your mind, this is the right answer, okay? Inhale, ask. Exhale, inhale, and open your eyes.
I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it.
You get an answer?
Yeah, I got an image. I got an image of I have to sit down and figure out it was an image of a cartoon character
Mhm.
uh with white hair and
Wow.
kind of like gray skin, like bluish gray skin. It's weird. I don't know what that is or what that means, but I don't
What
know.
that means you are to the angels. It's your it's the imaging of your angel.
You said that
But
was
you know what? The angels are funny. They love to make you laugh. They love something that you like. Example, if you love the cartoons, they're gonna put something that identify with you. You understand?
And that's the thing.
Example, if
I don't even watch cartoons, so it's weird that would come up. But it did remind me of something that I used to watch back in the day. So that's
when
kind of
you
strange.
was child.
Yeah, it connected with something that I used to watch, but it wasn't that character. But it was just strange that when you said listen to the voice, that
Uh-huh.
that image is what popped up in my mind, not a voice, but that image. So trying to figure that out.
It's um it's easy, but you need to practice, you know? And more you practice, more you get the answers.
Yeah, yeah,
When I teach to the people, I say that. I say, okay, I teach you, but if you don't practice, I can do nothing, you know?
yeah.
Because if you practice, it's like you going to the bike. You need to practice and practice and practice. Then you get the answers.
The breathing exercise, and I've never really done that, right? I've seen it done, and but I've never had someone kind of guide me through a breathing exercise. And I think there's a difference there, especially with you speaking as you're going through it, right? Telling the person what state to be in and what to, focus on this. And I think that actually does something for you. I would like to explore that more.
Sure.
Yeah, I would like to explore that more because it feels like there's something there. You know what I mean? It really does.
It
Really,
really is.
it really feels like that. I tell the story all the time. Like I'm always peeling back another layer of the onion. I'm always, you know, having my mind opened up to something else that I didn't realize was a thing. And it's like that's why I love going down this journey and taking this journey and talking to different people like yourself, because it kind of it's an enlightening process for myself to kind of go through this and come across people with abilities like yourself. I'm gonna say abilities, right? Because there are people that resonate with your readings. And from the reading that you gave for Polly and what I know of Polly, I know that was a reading that connected with her as well, for sure. And it's always awesome to see a person be able to tap in to those sorts of abilities. And I can
Thank you.
appreciate it because it's a reflection of who we are as human beings. So where can the Instagram address that we have for you, is that where they can get the private readings?
Yeah, yeah. And Instagram is at Grisangel Consejero Espiritual. It's good. And they send me a message and they can get a reading. I do it a video call and I explain you everything how this work. And reading is 1 hour of reading. And it's like that. I start talking,
Okay,
talking
and you
and talking.
see, you see, she's the truth, guys. Totally awesome that we were able to have this conversation, Griselda. And you see, I
Thank you
told you
so
it was gonna be exactly what it was. We had a great time together tonight. It was just
much.
really organic. You came across, you explained yourself very well to the audience. Everyone out
Thank
there
you.
really was receptive to the analogies that you gave. So keep up the great work, and let's do
Thank
this
you.
again. Let's do this again. What do you think?
Oh, anytime. It's a pleasure for me. And thank you so much for inviting me. I'm going to say in Spanish too. Gracias por invitarme. Thank you for being here and for the passions with my English. Gracias por estar aquí, por la paciencia con mi inglés. I try to speak English, but I think the people understand.
Conversation
Awesome
has
stuff,
moved
Griselda.
beneath
You're
Thanks so
listening
much
to
for
After
coming in.
Hours
We'll
with
do it
Mr.
again.
Rob
You have a
G
great rest
on
of
the
your night.
only place
Sure.
where you can own the
Take
night.
care.
Blessings, everyone.
Spaced Out
Thank
Radio.
you. Bye-bye.
radio.
All right, later.
You've tuned your dial to the right frequency.
Awesome stuff, guys. As we get ready to go into our commercial break, we will be right back with after hour number 3. Don't go anywhere. right, welcome back, everyone. Spaced Out Radio After Hour number 3. Tres. Since we're on our Spanish thing tonight. This is going to be a great hour, number 3. We have about 10 seconds left. We get into some Steve Stockton and Drew Banke with the After Hours wrap up. Here we go. All right, everybody, welcome back. Spaced Out Radio After Hour number 3 with me, your host, Mr. Rob G. We want to thank a fantastic guest tonight, Griselda Mantecon. If you missed any of that conversation, definitely jump into archives, youtube.com/@SpacedOutRadio. Now we get into hour number 3 with our guys, Steve Stockton and Drew Banke with the After Hours wrap up. Maybe some unapologetically Mr. Rob G. Things on my mind, man. So here we go as we go ahead and get ready to get into the show. We'll go ahead and jump right on in and jump into our Steve Stockton, and we will do it like this.
Welcome to Tales Untold and Missing Persons Mysteries on Spaced Out Radio's After Hours. My name is Steve Stockton, and I'm here to take you on a journey of mysteries, legends, and true stories. Come, join me on this strange
Amanda
adventure
Eller.
of Tales Untold.
Amanda Eller is a 35-year-old physical therapist and yoga instructor who wanted to go and explore the Makawao Forest Reserve on the northern side of Maui, Hawaii on May 9th, 2019. What was supposed to be a 3-mile relaxing hike to help her get closer to nature ended up turning into a 3-week ordeal that had her fighting for her life. Ellen was reported missing when she never showed back up when she said she would, and when her car was spotted parked near a vast forest reserve in Hawaii, it prompted thousands of volunteers to come out and start immediately searching the vast jungles and streams in the surrounding areas. On a Friday afternoon, 17 days after she first headed out on her hike, and less than an hour after her family had announced a $50,000 reward for information leading to her whereabouts, Ms. Eller was found with sunburn, scrapes, a torn ligament in her knee, and a broken leg. She was malnourished, but she was alive. So what happened to Amanda Eller? How had she become so lost so quickly on what was seemingly a simple and easy, relaxing trail walk through which she had gone many times before without any problems? Now, it's true the area of the reserve is 2,000 acres and has such thick vegetation and brush it needs to be hacked with machetes, but Amanda was on a trail. Here's what she had to say. Amanda claimed she was just going on the short trail walk, which she had done many times before and was really enjoying it. It was just a typical thing on a typical day. As she went off the path at one point to sit and rest, she became disoriented and confused. She stated a very strange gut instinct was pulling her into the opposite direction than the one she was familiar with and knew was right. She decided to go the way towards where she thought her car was, figuring if she just walked towards there, at least she would have a handle on where she was headed. She ended up hiking from around 10:30 a.m. that morning until midnight that night in a desperate search for her car. She admits being ready to just give up and stop trying, but claims as soon as she did, she would hear a certain very loud and strong insistent voice telling her that if she wanted to live, she needed to keep going. She stated, "As soon as I would doubt my intuition and try to go another way than where it was telling me, something would stop me. A branch would fall on me. I'd stub my toe or I'd trip. So it seems the same gut instinct that seemed to have initially led her astray was in fact now leading her back to where she needed to be, back on the right path." Many people have started to believe that Amanda had actually been abducted. Her cell phone, water bottles, and wallet were all left behind in her car. On the third day, she'd given up looking for her car and decided to start looking for water instead. However, she fell off a 20-foot cliff and tore the ligament in her knee, while the very next day, she lost her shoes in a flash flood. She was only wearing a tank top and yoga pants to begin with, and the injury and loss of her shoes slowed her down considerably. At night, she covered herself with ferns and branches and leaves. She even spent one night in a wild boar's den. She survived by eating almost anything she could find, things that were identifiable and some that weren't. She even ate moths that landed on her body. She began to crawl instead of walking and was then confronted with a seemingly impassable steep drop-off. Meanwhile, the volunteer searchers were going through their own harrowing ordeals as the search for Amanda led many of them into fast-moving streams and had them rappelling into ravines. Some even killed aggressive wild boars and searched the dead animals' intestines for Amanda's body parts. At least one searcher was attacked by a wild boar but managed to get away and survive. Amanda stated later that she had seen and heard multiple helicopters, but despite trying her best to get their attention, they never spotted her. Until eventually, one did and sent rescue. How did this woman survive so many days in the wilderness with no shoes and with the injuries and Mother Nature seemingly against her at every single turn? Could it have been the voice she heard loud and clear telling her she must choose between life and death? If so, who or what was it? Luckily, Amanda chose life. Gia Fuda, 18-year-old Giovanna Fuda, or Gia as she likes to be called, decided to go for a drive on July 24th, 2020, and was headed to a town about 70 miles east of Seattle. The teenager just wanted to go and take a short road trip alone to clear her head and relax. For reasons still unknown, however, she ventured much farther than she initially set out to and ended up far past the city views of Seattle and into the wilderness and wilds of a remote area of Washington state. By 1 a.m. the next morning, when her parents had received no response back from their many phone calls and texts to Gia, and when she herself hadn't returned home or even checked in, they decided to call the authorities and report their daughter as missing. At around 10 a.m. the morning she had left her home and started her trip, she was seen on video camera in a coffee shop near the town of Index. She bought a Bigfoot keychain and left. 3 days after her disappearance, on July 27th, a transportation worker found her car nearby that shop and reported it to the police. He said he only noticed the car because of the awkward way in which it was parked. After running the license plate, the authorities found that the car was Gia's and it had run out of gas. All the doors were locked and her purse and other personal items were left inside. At this point, the police started to think foul play was involved and maybe she'd been forcibly abducted. Search and rescue teams were already out and looking for her as of July 26th, but the area made it impossible to track her by pings because it was a cell phone dead zone. On August 1st, some of the searchers found Gia's belongings, such as her shoes, Bible, bag, and cell phone. These possessions were found near Scenic Creek, and just a little while later that same day, Gia was found up a steep ravine sitting on a rock next to the river. Gia stated she had panicked when her car had run out of gas and decided it would cut some of the walking distance off where she'd cut through the woods to get to a gas station. She said that she was frightened and didn't know what to do, so she grabbed what she felt was most important that she could carry and locked the rest of her possessions in her car. She was found 10 miles away from the nearest gas station. She felt that walking along the highway was too dangerous, but ended up getting lost and wandering around the forest for 9 days. She thought she was only lost for 3 days, however, as she lost her sense of time. When she was first found, Gia just kept repeating, "I don't know where I am," over and over again, as if in some sort of trance. She was eventually taken to the hospital, though, and managed to get through the ordeal with no long-term effects. It didn't go unnoticed, though, to many people who investigated or looked further into the case, that Gia had purchased a Bigfoot keychain right before going through this harrowing and terrifying ordeal. Coincidence or not? Carol Kaparsky and Ian Irwin. Married couple Carol Kaparsky and Ian Irwin, aged 77 and 72 respectively, were staying in a cottage while on vacation in the Sea Haven, Inverness, California area in February of 2020 when, on their checkout date, which was the 15th, came and went without the couple ever returning home or being seen leaving. They went missing on the 14th and left belongings, including their wallets and cell phones, in their room, and their car was also still parked where it had been the last time they were seen. Little did they know their careers would come in handy while trying to survive 8 days lost in the wilderness. Carol was an herbalist and mushroom hunter, while Ian had a background in mountaineering. When the couple were reported missing, searchers scoured the area by air, boat, and land for days, but to no avail. Finally, on February 20th, officials said their search efforts were now transitioning to a recovery effort. Now, usually this means they assume the couple were deceased and the searchers were looking to recover their bodies. Then, 8 days after they were last seen, the 22nd, the couple were miraculously found alive and mostly well in the dense terrain with only light hypothermia to recover from. Carol and Ian told authorities that they decided to go for a simple and romantic hike for Valentine's Day, but got lost in the dark. They couldn't find their way back and survived by drinking muddy puddle water. The couple is choosing to remain silent about their ordeal and said they may eventually be able to tell of how they survived a terrifying 7 nights in the Inverness wilderness. All we do know is that one point is a bit strange. Carol willingly took her shoes off, which caused Ian to have to lay down in thick thorns so she could use his body as a kind of bridge to walk across. One can only imagine what they each could have been thinking during all this, but it just doesn't seem to make much sense. Why not just keep her shoes on and walk across? Also, how does someone get so lost, even in the dark, on such a simple hiking trail that they end up in such an extremely dangerous and dense brush area? Until the couple decide to recount their harrowing ordeal, we probably won't know the answers to this one either. Maddie Popolizio and Blake Alois. Maddie Popolizio and her boyfriend Blake Alois had just reached the top of the second highest mountain in New York State, the Algonquin, when what they planned to be just a quick day hike very quickly went all wrong. According to 19-year-old Maddie, everything was fine around noon that day. The weather was beautiful, and the couple didn't foresee any trouble at all and thought it was going to be a regular hike through the beautiful scenery of the area. They couldn't have been more wrong. All of a sudden, and seemingly out of nowhere, a fog so intense, dense, and thick came over the entire mountain, leaving the two completely blind. They couldn't see an inch in front of them. Does that sound familiar? Only in this case it's fog and not the sudden whiteout of snow from a previous disappearance. Maddie stated, "As soon as we got to the top, a massive fog came over the entire summit. It was so intense I could not see my hand in front of my face. If I wasn't latched on to Blake, I would have completely lost him." Then, when a sudden snowstorm hit at the summit, the couple decided immediately that their best course of action would be to climb back down the mountain. However, whiteout conditions from the fog and snow prevented them from seeing the trail that they had followed up. They linked arms and decided then to walk towards a clearing they thought might lead to a trail back down. Unfortunately, as soon as their feet lifted off the rock they were standing on at the summit, they plummeted down 100 feet. This unfortunate turn of events landed them on the opposite side of the summit from which they had originally climbed up. Luckily, the couple landed on bent, snow-covered trees and, with their snowshoes, tried to climb back up the side of the mountain to get back up to the summit and reassess the situation. This didn't seem to be working, however. Despite wearing the snowshoes, the couple recalled, "Even with the snowshoes, we were just falling through massive amounts of snow." Terrified and with nowhere to go, the couple returned to the more secure spot they had fallen to on top of the trees. Then they built a wall of snow to try and block the wind and light Ian's backpack on fire with a fire starting kit they had with them. The intense winds and heavy snow prevented any fire or heat from being made or generated, though, and the couple feared they weren't going to make it out of this situation alive. Their phones had no power or service, and they spent the first day screaming at the top of their lungs for help, assuming they would be rescued by nightfall. However, that wasn't the case. They spent 2 more days this way, huddled together, keeping each other as warm as they could with body heat and each trying to keep the other sane. When they were finally rescued, they were located about 265 feet southeast of the mountain summit. Ground crews eventually came upon them, still on top of the bent and snow-covered trees. The couple told of how, on the first night, Maddie couldn't feel her toes because of the freezing cold snow, and in an attempt to keep her warm, Blake emptied out his backpack and zipped it up around her feet and legs. Within minutes, she regained feeling in her toes, but useful supplies such as their knife, rechargeable crank light, and 90% of their food were lost forever in the deep snow. There were multiple times where Maddie had fallen into snow which covered over the top of her head, and Blake lost his gloves pulling her out to save her life. Luckily, the couple didn't sustain any long-term injuries or effects from their strange and terrifying ordeal. Why is it that blinding weather always comes along in the blink of an eye and makes hikers unable to see and therefore puts them at risk for major injury and incapacitation? It's the same thing over and over again and completely defies any logic or explanation. Some may say Mother Nature is just a fickle woman and changes her mind on a whim, but there are others, those of us that don't believe in so much coincidence, who wonder, is there something else at play here?
All right, that would be Steve Stockton, Tales Untold, Missing Person Mysteries. Awesome, always awesome that he's a part of Spaced Out Radio, the After Hours radio show, and we do appreciate him being a part of it. I'm telling you, he could read your ID card, he could read the ingredients to apple pie and make it sound compelling. As we go ahead and get ready to jump into the After Hours wrap up tonight with our guy, none other than Drew Bakey. All right, the After Hours wrap up with the guy Drew Bakey, Griselda Mantecon, awesome soul, awesome person. Appreciate the connect. and she was what you said she was, man, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, man, she's amazing, and I'm glad that she, everything worked out. We was working all the way up until we went live, working through some technical issues and everything, and thank God, it just all come together at the end. So it's good. It's
Good stuff.
good, and yeah, what can I say, man? I bring the heat. If I bring someone to the table, I know they're going to deliver. I know they're going to deliver. So
As always, and you know, we need to know what that reading was, right? So she gave you that initial reading, the one she talked about. What was the reading? Do you recall it?
yeah, so she saw multiple healing centers, like one in Mexico with a big that's close to the beach, and all this would like happen within the next couple years. She saw just multiple healing centers around the world, but in particular one in Mexico, and yeah, she said something about the Atlas project. So the overall project is going to be just healing centers or spiritual educational centers around the world, and the name of it was the overall umbrella name of it would be the Atlas Project, and that's the name of the horse that passed away. So
Okay. Because I saw that and I was wondering, you had sent that over, and I was like, wait a minute, why does this sound familiar? And then okay, now you connected the two for me right now. So okay, awesome
yeah,
stuff, Drew.
and so when Atlas passed away, that the Atlas comet happened right there at the same time, and it was I think it was at the beginning of. Yeah, he actually passed away on 11/11 or something like that. It's just like all these different things align. And then when I talked to her, I don't know if she was, I don't know if she was going all the way back through all my Facebook posts, but that's been months ago. So it was just crazy, how it just come out, and she just blurted it out. So yeah, and she's just the real deal. There's when and yeah, the project that she talks about is a huge project. It's a global. It's about humanity, and it's just interesting. When she messaged me and she talked about, I don't know, she was explaining in the beginning, but I don't know if it was very clear. But when she messaged me, she's like, I had a message to uh from the angels or whatever in a dream that she was supposed to, or some type of message, from the angels that she was supposed to reach out and start reaching larger crowds. And she just happened to reach out to me, and I was like, perfect. I was like, you can speak English. We can get you, we can get you a couple hours on the after hours and do readings and stuff, and kind of show other people what I've seen you do. And yeah, it's just good stuff. So I'm glad that it all worked out, and yeah, I think the audience loved her, and yeah, I'm glad that we're making those connections, shifting the needle. And I think when you have people like this on that really talk directly to each individual person, each individual viewer, she, is amazing. She took time to focus her energy for each question. And yeah, I think she raised some hairs on the back of people's necks tonight. So she did what
Yeah,
she come.
and I have to say that's 3 for 3 as far as readings go. Like we started off this reading thing with Ane on Halloween. Well, actually, that was taken over for Dave that night, and then we had the readings as well with who was the last person? I forget the last person. I just know this is the third set of readings, and every single time it has resonated and connected. Like, I mean, when you talk about moving the needles, it just shows people that this stuff is not just some fly by night jokey joke sort of ability. Like, people really have the ability to do these things, as wild as it sounds, is insane as it might be for someone who's never experienced the phenomenon at all. This stuff actually is happening, and it's actually a real thing. And like we talked about with the healing energy, the Reiki healing energy, and then my experience with my own puppy, who I've sat here and told you. And one thing you'll never get out of me is misinformation or untruths. You always get it straight from the hip with me, and I am proof that a lot of these things are actually true, man. It's crazy, Drew.
Yeah, it's an exciting time in this world, and the more we have these conversations, we need to have all the conversations. We need to have experiencer conversations. We also need to have experiencer like that are experiencing magic, because there's magic happening right now in this world, like all around us all the time. And that's what we really need to like. I agree with everything she said. It was almost like looking in the mirror. Like things that she was saying was exactly how I would say them. The real work starts inside. It's human nature to sit here and think about everything that's going on in the world and be like, okay, what can we do like on this grand scale, when we're overlooking like what the real work needs to happen. Like what you're seeing and how you perceive the world is a reflection of what's going on internally. And that's exactly, I couldn't agree with it anymore. That's the exact answer that I get from the other side when I ask, what advice to give. And the advice that they keep, the other side, the spirits, whatever you want to call it, universe, source, that keeps coming back, the real inner work is inside. I mean, there's been quotes from Ram Dass, and it can get any clearer than that, but people just kind of overlook it because it sounds too easy. But
I'll tell you what, as well, getting into this, like I told her before she left, the breathing exercise is never really something I've done. I've seen it done. I maybe sat on the side and kind of, tried to partake, but not really. But in a moment where someone's guiding you on those sorts of things, and I can say from that it did give, it did set in like a relaxation sort of thing. I mean, it really did. It's not, and that's the thing. That's what kind of keeps me going in this thing, is that I'm seeing all these things, and there's merit to the things that are being done and said. And I'll point this out once again, as I always do. We do these shows on healing and spirituality, and in this field, for whatever reason, these topics don't resonate with everyone, and it blows my mind still to this day. But we're not going to stop doing these. We're going to continue to do shows that connect to consciousness and spirituality, because I feel like that is above all else, and everything falls beneath that, right? And maybe it's not your time to tap into consciousness and spirituality. Maybe it doesn't, it's over your head right now, but there will come a time where it won't be, and you'll come back to these shows, and it'll be full of useful information to kind of help elevate your spirit. But don't get me wrong, I am a UFO experiencer. I am deep into the subject, and I want disclosure on all these things, but there are other parts of the conversation that still have to be had, right? And we're always going to do that here. We're going to have the conversations that move the needle, and whether there's 10 people watching that night or 1,000 people watching that night. So just know that that's what you're going to get here continuously, consistently, going forward, as we get ready to go ahead and jump into our last and final break of the night, right here with Drew Banky on the After Hours wrap up on the After Hours radio show, right here on Spaced Out Radio. Guys, it's been a great one. Make sure that you don't go anywhere, and come right back if you do. See you in a minute. All right, crystal clear. What's up?
Yeah.
What's up, man? What's been going on? I saw you earlier. On go ahead and tell everybody where you were.
Yeah, I was on the animal podcast, doing a podcast over there. I have been sitting in this chair for over over 5 hours right now. Going on 5.5 hours. I've been sitting in this chair.
I know that feeling. Let me
And
see.
I've got up one time.
Yeah, I've been in this chair as right now for the last 5 hours so far, and we'll be doing another hour or so over there, the social dig after the show. So it's gonna be more like 7-8 hours, man, sitting in the day. That's a work day. That's a full work day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, but what a guest. Yeah, she delivered it. Her stories of like Jesus, like I want to tell a story like when we get back. Can you look up a picture real quick and get it ready? Type in Jesus National Geographic magazine. I told a story before, but it'll with this picture it's gonna be better because I have a little visual representation. But her story of like seeing the cross and everything, I've had like similar instances, and I'll talk about that when we get back from break. And also pair it with the picture too. It's the one that says Origins. It's a National Geographic magazine, but it's like Origins of Christianity or whatever.
Yeah, I don't see it. I see multiple Jesus National Geographic magazines, but I think I found it.
It says the story of Jesus. It's got this is the one. I got this in. I don't know how to send this to you.
I see it right here. The story of Jesus. Let's see it.
Copy image. Oh, here. It's fun though. I love getting readings. It's fun.
Yeah, they are cool.
I hope they help some people. Some news. Homestead Rescue is going to be doing some work in the Carolinas. So if you know anybody in the Carolinas, North Carolina or South Carolina, or anybody that got affected by Hurricane Helene, message me or go to my page and everything. And I have links on my social media pages. They're looking for people to help. So I want to put that out there. And yeah, it's exciting. I've been talking to them since October with the producers and everything over at Discovery and Homestead Rescue about this in the background. And now they're actually finally starting to openly look for people. So if you know someone that was dramatically affected in their home or anything like that by Hurricane Helene, tell them to go to my page or go and there's links on there, or reach out to me and I'll set it all up. So and link you with the right people to get the process started.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Let me see. We got about 30 seconds here. All right. 15 seconds.
Oh, we need to get a new intro music for me, man. That's creepy.
Yeah. We'll find something, man.
We need something more upbeat.
Welcome back to Spaced Out Radio, the After Hours radio show with me, your host, Mr. Rob G. We're on the back half of the third hour right here with Drew Benke and the After Hours wrap-up. Guys, if you've loved the show, make sure you hit the like button. Also, if you're following us on social media, go ahead and hit the like button there as well at Spaced Out Radio, Spaced Out Radio Show on X, Instagram, or wherever you might be watching from. As we go ahead and get back into the show here, we're going to go ahead and talk more about our guest tonight, Griselda Mantecon. And so, Drew, you said you wanted to bring something up?
Yeah, so she was talking about the experience, seeing the cross and everything, and having like, that biblical experience. So I sent Rob a link to a picture of the National Geographic. So I told this story before, but back, man, I can't remember. Maybe it was like 2008.
What is the picture of?
It's of right there, the story of Jesus.
Yep,
the story of Jesus.
For the radio.
So for the radio audience, it's a National Geographic special edition, The Story of Jesus. And this particular one has 108 pages. There's like 110 pages, but there's actually 108 pages of actual like publication or whatever. Anyways, that's like the link to Buddhism. Anyways, I've told a story a few times on air, even on Spaced Out Radio, I think with Rob, of an instance where I was in Florida walking through a store and having a really psychic moment where the words that I was seeing on boxes of cereal and things like that while I was walking down an aisle was connecting to the radio that was playing in the supermarket, and then connecting with a word that I caught someone, like a conversation of two people walking by, but it all was like messages of like, you are not alone, like, don't worry, like this is it basically like the oneness of the universe, and it was speaking to me and telling me just trust the process and everything. Well, at the end of that story, that's when I encountered the nun that was in the produce aisle. That was actually a physical nun that saw me and stuff. Anyways, I was walking to the checkout aisle. My wife wanted me to go to aisle number 3 to check out. I went to aisle number 4, and while I was in the checkout aisle, it was like the story of Jesus, when I was walking up to the checkout aisle, was being screamed in my head. I just heard this voice that said, I need to read the story of Jesus. I don't need to read the Bible. My wife asked me, she's like, what is the message telling you to read the Bible? She thought I was like freaking out. I did too. Like, I thought I was like losing my mind. But my saving grace was in the aisle while having this conversation with her. I looked to my right, and this National Geographic, I have the actual physical copy inside in a cedar chest, like a sacred, like it's a sacred object to me, because it was my saving grace in that moment, letting me know that what was going on was just being opened up to a different level of understanding. And that was years ago, and it was a moment of trust in the process. But this was the physical thing that was in the aisle, that was not in the the checkout aisle number 3 that she wanted me to go into. I insisted to stay in checkout aisle number 4, which had more people in it. Like checkout aisle number 3 was empty, so she couldn't understand why I had to be in number 4. But as we got up there and started to put our stuff on the conveyor belt to check out, as I'm having this conversation, I'm telling her, I'm like, I feel like I'm losing my mind. I look to my right, and this magazine is on the stand right at eye level, right beside me.
Pretty insane. Pretty insane. So you were called, it was a calling. You were being directed to that place. Yeah, that's pretty awesome, dude. So Jesus called you. Jesus dialed your number up.
Well, it was interesting. So I talk about the 108, and at the end of that, so there's in the Buddhist traditions, there's 108 deities. So at the end of it, I didn't know what to do I read it. It was just like cliff notes of Jesus's story. The hair stood up while reading through this thing, like this magazine. And when I get to the end, I didn't know really what to do. But I noticed the number 108, and a few days later, I heard in a podcast or something they was talking about Buddhist deities and how there was 108 Buddhist deities. So I started looking into that, and I saw similarities between Jesus's story, the Buddhist story, and similarities between Native American ceremonies. I saw all these similar, and it's all just become one understanding after that. This was part of that process, and this was learning, just getting caught up on Christianity, because I was a Christian when I was very young, but I wasn't paying attention or anything like that. But unknowingly, I guess I was absorbing it in a way, because this was a part of the universe showing that all religions, all pathways are all correct, but they all lead you to really one understanding. And that's what I come to realize, at least. I'm not like proclaiming anything, but that's what I come to understand by seeing everything. But because I felt the same vibe of all of it, and I felt the ultimate vibe of the universe, the source, and the ultimate love.
That is awesome. That is awesome. And as we're getting into, as Dev Sack pointed out, the season of Jesus here, for a lot of people knowing that what Christmas Day represents, as we're getting into closer and closer. What is today? We have a few weeks. We have a couple weeks left, close to
like
3 weeks.
18 days or something like that. My kids have a little countdown thing inside. So I think it's around 18 days now.
Yeah, depending on when you hear this, right? For you, the listener,
Yeah.
it may be a lot sooner, but that is actually pretty awesome. And like I said, it just lines up with where we're at this season. So you said the kids have a countdown thing set up, so I'm sure they're counting down until they can tear open some goodies. What are you looking forward to this holiday season?
Just that, seeing them enjoy the holidays. I spoke about this in a post earlier. Someone had shared a post of them on a train and being with their family and stuff. And I was thinking about it. I was like, the holidays for me, it's, especially with having young kids, it's almost like you get to experience the holidays all over again. Almost, when you don't have kids, and there's not someone making a turkey, or the tree being put up and all that stuff. It kind of loses the aura that it had when you were a young kid. But having young kids, you get to relive that almost through them, and just kind of recreating the experience for them. But you get to recreate it, making popcorn a lot, stuff like that. This in the season right now, and they love that, having popcorn every night, making fresh popcorn on the stove, and turning on the tree when the sun goes down and stuff like that every night. And we got a little buddy, the elf, and I got to go in and figure out where I'm going to put him when I go inside, and then before I go to bed tonight, stuff like that. But it's
so you guys already decorated the tree and everything.
Oh yeah. And we don't really, it's not so much the Santa vibe. It's more like we tell them that this is like the abundance, and this is the giving and receiving like time. You know, it's more,
Mhm.
we more explain the holidays for what it is to us, like instead of like, you know, the stigmas behind a red dude coming down the chimney in the middle of the night. You know, that's kind of freaky for a lot of kids. You know, if you tell them there's going to be this old man that's going to be sneaking around in the living room in a couple weeks in the middle of the night, don't go down the stairs. You know, it's kind of weird. You know, it's kind of weird stuff for some people. But you know, so we just kind of talk about the, you know, the overall basis behind it, the gratitude and the giving and receiving and thankfulness and the restart of a new year. And that's kind of what Christmas is for us, you know.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I've worked in customer service field and just the politically correct environments, and you know, you never really focus on one specific holiday by name, and it's always holiday season. So
Yeah.
it's a happy holiday season for everyone out there, regardless on what you celebrate or don't celebrate or believe in or don't believe in. Just like Drew said earlier, it's just a giving time of the year. I think I said that on the video for Dave Scott as well. Like it's the season of giving, and that starts, you know, generally or when the leaves start to turn different colors outside here in the United States for us. So for me, you know, we've already gotten done decorating the tree, and you know, there's you essentially what would usually happen is like the day after Thanksgiving. Now it's Christmas carols.
Yeah.
Now we're going to buy the eggnog. We're going to you know, set up the tree decoration, and put the lights up on the house, right? Things of
Yeah.
that nature. But you know, hot cocoa with marshmallows,
Yeah.
things like that.
No,
And
it's a great time. Like, you know, just waking up to a little snow on the ground and being in a warm house with the heater going. And yeah, it's just it's that time of year, you know. And
no snow for
it's
me, buddy. No snow for me. I'm in California. We don't get it. We've never have. We never will.
well,
So
don't say that, man.
those are
Dude,
beautiful sights you get to see, dude.
yeah, I was in Iraq when it snowed, and it hadn't snowed in over 100 years when I was there
That's
in
crazy.
2007. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do it like this. I'm leave you with a couple questions. Malou brings one up: fake tree or real tree, plastic or nature.
I have a fake one. I don't care either way though. I just with the kids, with my kids, the tree went up the day after Halloween. So it's been up for a minute, and it'll be up till January 1st. Well, January 31st, and we're take it down, and it signifies a change. You know, it helps out overall, like just a change in the year if you do something change like that. So that's my little advice for taking the tree down. You know, but center around these holidays, because the holidays are very powerful because there's so many people having the same feelings, and that's why holidays are so powerful. Such powerful days for manifestation.
Well, I'll tell you what. For me, I'm a real tree kind of guy, and I totally despise fake trees. Let me go on the record. I totally despise being able to put your tree back in a box and slide it under your bed or put it in your closet to bring it back out next year, and then try to spice things up by buying those cinnamon pine cones to kind of give it the false Christmas tree smell or just the Christmas aroma sort of thing. Gotta have a real tree. You gotta have the pine scent, the actual pines. But you live near a bunch of pines, I'm sure. But
Bro,
for me,
You know what we've been doing the past few days? Making homemade applesauce. And get this, bro. It's very berry. I coined a phrase. It's very berry applesauce because it's got blueberries, raspberries, blackberries. Yeah, it's got like 3 or 4 different kind of and some strawberries in it. Just a few that's mixed in with apples that are cut up, put in a crock pot. We cook them for like 4 to 6 hours, then put them in a blender and then can it. That's what we've been doing. Check out my my social pages. I've been posting pictures of it. It's amazing, man. But having that that smell of the apple like permeating through the house, it's you know,
I
it's
hear you.
great.
You
It's
said
Christmas time, man.
you might have to send something this way, man. I'm gonna send you my address, man, and so I got some of that very berry applesauce.
Dude, I'm about to be in Vegas in a couple of weeks for that
That's
interview.
right.
You're supposed to catch up with me. I'll bring
We
one.
are, yeah. No, we're definitely gonna do that, Drew. We're definitely gonna do that.
It's gonna be
You
3
just
ounces of applesauce because I gotta do it. Put on the carry-on.
yeah, right. All right, Drew. I'm finna wrap this thing up, man. Anything you want to leave the audience with before we go?
No, if I bring a guest, tune in, share it with your friends. You should be warned, and let this day show you that that's the truth. And with that, man, I love you, Rob.
You know
And
it.
we're gonna be back tomorrow.
Oh yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. I gotta set the show. We'll be back. We'll
See
be
you
back.
tomorrow. See you tomorrow night. I'm not playing in the after show. I've been in this chair too long. I'm going in and I'm got to set that elf on the shelf somewhere. I think I'm gonna hang it from a light or something like that.
All right.
So
Well,
yeah,
Drew
going back to
Banky,
father
ladies
mode.
and gentlemen. Take a bow, sir. Take a bow.
If I bring a guest, tune in.
All right, Drew Banky. Talk to you. We'll do this again tomorrow, buddy.
All right, later.
Later. Right, guys. That's Drew Banky with the After Hours wrap up, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna squeeze in just a little unapologetically. We have a few minutes here, and I just want to go ahead and we don't need any music for this. I just wanted to. There was some things that stuck out to me this week or the last couple weeks, and it more so has to do with dates. Dates in ufology. What are we doing with these dates, right? I can't get over how many people within ufology like to tie down disclosure to dates. Can someone make this make sense for me? What is the benefit of doing that, right? You know, when I first heard dates, when dates first came across my table, I don't even remember what it was for, but it was, you know, I think long-term outlooks like, hey, disclosure might happen within the next few years. I can lean into something like that. But when you start professing actual dates, like something will happen on this day of this year, or something is going to happen in this year. 2027 is the new one right now. I think what it does, and I don't know if you agree with me on this or if you realize yourself when you look at this, but when dates get set and the dates come and then they go without event, I think what that does is it puts a stain on ufology. It puts a black eye on ufology, right? Because not only do you have skeptics or people that oppose UFOs to look at that and essentially get a good laugh every time someone puts up a date, but I think it also, for people within ufology, it kind of breaks down the morale of the movement that we have on disclosure. So imagine if you were all in on dates and someone, you know, you're in by the 10th date now, you know, you're still putting hope in the fact that someone somehow has received this information and they know, for whatever reason, they said they talked to or they channeled this date for that date to come, and then you get another letdown. It's no different than, you know, putting your stock into the politics and the hearings and the hoping that this is going to be the next, this is going to be the time, this next time is going to be the time. There's got to get you got to get to a point to where you understand that it's just moving the goal line. The Lucy in the football situation is all it is. That's all these dates are. And I'm sorry if that offends anyone out there, because, you know, it's just been proven over. And I've never been into the dates. I'll say that first of all. I've never believed that anything was going to happen. Anyone who ever came forward and said something was going to happen on a particular date, we know, if you were around back going to Y2K, then you understand what I'm talking about. There's been years and years of people predicting dates, the Mayans in 2012, just all sorts of dates. I'm sure you could list many dates where something was predicted, something didn't turn out the way someone said, or it just didn't happen at all. And I just think that takes the sales out of, you know, the morale that us within ufology have to try to get. Why even consider dates? We just know that at some point disclosure happens. Let's leave it there. Let's leave it at some point here in the future. Disclosure is going to happen. Now that covers a wide spectrum. It means disclosure could happen 1,000 years from now, 100 years from now. It means it could happen next month, next week, or even it could happen tomorrow, right? So let's just leave that umbrella open, because I think it's more logical and, you know, essentially sets a stage where we don't have to get knocked down a peg every time someone makes a false date and then the date comes and goes. Because I think it just, for one, the person looks silly, the credibility is ruined when you have people within ufology pushing those dates, and you know, it just doesn't do much for the movement. So, you know, I just had to put that out there, because people were hanging on this December 3rd date, and you know, they're still hanging on this 2027 date, which I don't buy at all. Throw the dates out the window, and let's get back to just doing the basic necessary things we need to do to try to push for disclosure, like getting data, getting receipts, taking pictures, photos, gathering the stuff that we can control and gather, and trying to move the needle that way, instead of sitting hoping. Because what happens is 2027 is what, 2 years away, 3 years away. So you have people that'll be complacent, just sit back and say, I don't have to do much because 2027 is right here and it's going to happen. It's already been said that I don't need to do any work, which is wrong. So with that being said, that was unapologetically Mr. Rob G. I want to thank our guest Griselda Mantecon tonight for being awesome and giving us readings. Drew Banky for helping bring this guest in tonight and just being an awesome guy. Steve Stockton for bringing us another story, Tales Untold Missing Person Mysteries. We also want to thank the man you hear right now, rocking us out of each and every weekend, Mr. Ron Bubblefoot Thal, because he teaches us to never say never again. Because yes, the phenomena is real, which means anything and everything is possible at that point. If you love the show tonight, if you love what you saw, what you participated in, please put your horns up. Also, we want to thank our listeners online and on terrestrial radio and digital platforms from whenever or wherever in the world you may be watching from. Thank you for tuning your frequency to Spaced Out Radio, the only place where you can own the night. Remember, this show is copyright SOR Media Ventures Limited, Spaced Out Radio. It has been a pleasure once again as your host. I am Mr. Rob G. This is the After Hours Radio Show, and you can best believe, space travelers, we will be back tomorrow night right here, same time, same place. I will see you there. right? Crystal clear, crystal clear. We are done. We are clear for the night. We're going to get ready to go over to the social dig, guys. So hopefully I see you guys there. Let me go ahead and post the link to the actual episode here in the chat. If you choose to come on over and have some conversation, I would implore you to do so. Let me see here. Okay, this is it. All right. That is a link. If you choose to come and take part of the show, we're over there at the Social Dig. And while you're over there, like I said, if you haven't already, be nice to go on over there and hit that subscribe button. We have awesome conversations all the time. If you haven't seen it, you're missing out. We did some really good shows lately. AI and humanity and the whole thing. Elon Musk, just a whole bunch of great stuff over there. Great topics. So hopefully I'll see you guys over there. Outside of that, we're going to go ahead and rock about it here, right? Because we want retribution. We want retribution. So here we go. We're out of here.
Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the